Hello, Star Wars Galaxy of Hero players. This is Andytesh Roto. Today I'm going to be covering some concept teams for C-3PO, human cyborg relations. A couple of them will make Urzatron a little excited. I'm sure he's already concepted some of these teams. So first off, I'm going to concept two teams here. This team here and then this team here. I know there's no leader. That's weird, right? But if you think about it, especially this team more so, you have 3PO. He gives buffs to rebels, resistance, everything, as well as all in general. The only ones that don't get bonuses in this team outside of the 10% potency and 10%... Apologize, I should have had this up. Come on. It was 10% defense penetration, 10% critical chance or critical damage, and 10%, it's not loading, 10% potency. But then you got R2 that gives everyone buffs based on health, protection, you name it. Then you got a speed boost from BB-8, as well as you got a T3M4 that gives more potency, critical chance, critical damage, stuff like that. Even R2 gives critical chance. And as well as, if you think about it, R2 also helps cleanse the team, just because of anytime a droid does a critical damage, they cleanse themselves. So this is a huge, amazing team here. So this concept team is concept team 1. It's more for the Revan teams, because how fast this team would be, R2 would be able to throw the taunt on, or the stealth up, where L3 gets taunt, as well as, everyone's focused on it. So Revan would probably take L3 out really quickly. However, because Jawa Engineer is there, he can heal, he'll speed up the turn meter yet again. Droids would go first. Jawa Engineer would ensure that there's a second row of turn meter going. He also can revive and heal. L3 revives herself, or not revives, but heals herself as long as she comes in with prepared. And if you don't need to ever revive, you can also use T3M4's repair ability that actually gives, 50% health and protection to a droid ally. So everyone's stealthed onto him, where T3 can just keep L337 alive. So there's those two concept teams. I have always wondered if it would ever be possible to see a droid or any sort of team that does not need any sort of leadership. And, these two teams could be viable. I could be wrong. I could be right. Who knows? Also, but really the teams I'm more curious about, which would really help Urzatron build more onto one of his little series, and is the Lobot versus the Meta. And this is a really good concept team. Yes, first off, you do get 25 speed for droids, so that's good. Jawa Engineer there's a lot of droids in this spot that you can place. Jawa Engineer is number 1 because I like the idea of R2-D2 stealthing onto L3, and if any of these 3 droids die, he can bring the droid back. Lobot speeds up the droids, cleanses the droids, heals the droids. Jawa Engineer heals the droids, so that's always cool. L3 heals the droids. So there's a lot of cleansing and healing, which droids have always needed. Except there's never been a good droid tank until L3 came out. However, there are other concept teams. Next would be... first off, before I go on to any other Lobot teams, I want to shout out Admiral Akbar being a possible droid leader. He doesn't support droids, but he does speed up. He still speeds up C-3PO and R2-D2. And these type of droid concept teams between Lobot and Akbar. The bonuses that Akbar gives, being able to call, like, first off, Lobot gives 25 speed, just like Akbar. But Lobot gives plus 10 potency, whereas Admiral Akbar gives plus 10 tenacity. 10% tenacity versus 10% potency. So there's little differences there. But what makes Akbar shine, I feel like shines more, especially since a lot of these droids are rebel anyways, is the fact that they can call assists. That's why Akbar shines better. R2 will be assisting a lot. C-3PO will be throwing around that confusion a lot. Also, another nice thing is since C-3PO allows rebels to, on their basic, spread around, not foresight, expose. Lobot is a rebel. So is Admiral Akbar. So they would both still be, they may assist and start spreading expose so that R2-D2 can use his improvise or his basic as well. So there's a lot of exposed mechanics coming out of these little, these two characters. But all the assists really make Akbar shine. But going back to it, again, Admiral Akbar and Lobot, are interchangeable in these teams, so it's not a big deal. All these stupid advertisements, sorry. But there's also the fact, yes, you can still run HK-47. It'll spread around turn meter and some more crit chance, but yeah, unfortunately the downside is, with all the assists on these two, the shining effect of these three attackers are the fact of all those exposes. So it's more of a try to survive and expose around. But another concept is, instead of Jawa Engineer, you run BB-8. So you can get Eliminated Destiny off. You throw around another buff. As well as you also speed up the droids. And you speed them a little more effectively than Jawa Engineer. But Jawa Engineer does have that revive mechanic. So it's debatable. And also C-3PO, when he calls a mass assist, BB-8 will still be able to apply tenacity down, whereas Jawa Engineer would only be spreading around thermal detonators, which could still be handy, and they're not dispellable anymore. So yeah, you do have this interchangeable. I feel like these four are not interchangeable, well, other than leader being HK. You could even theoretically go JTR, Commander Luke Skywalker making C-3PO counterattack. There's a lot, there's a lot of leaders that could fit in this spot. But Jyn Erso is another one. Except Jyn Erso, you'd want R2-3PO and then Chirrut and Baze, or the Chan combo. But there's also the fact of running Chopper. He can taunt. He doesn't counter, but he does give assists whenever these guys do, these three do their abilities. So he'll be able to have a 30% chance to assist with his basic, inflicting expose even more. There is also T3M4. Again, like I was talking about earlier, on this team, where he still gives some buffs. T3M4 heals up a droid. He does have an AoE as well as a basic. He also spreads target lock, which doesn't really work on this team as much, but at least it's still something. Yes, you could still throw IG-88 in here, but one of the last ones I thought of is K2SO, another counterattack tank. So you have two tanks bouncing around the taunt. You got a healer, a cleanse healer. Whenever they crit, they'll cleanse themselves. So there's a lot of different concepts for C-3PO teams. Yes, we all know that by the time of this recording, yes, this has happened in 2019. This is 12/18/2018. But in 2019 is when they're going to, early January to February, they're probably going to be making some nerfs. So C-3PO will be nerfed, unfortunately. Just because of the Finn leader Zeta with C-3PO, Han Solo, Chewie, and BB-8, which you can solo phase 3 of the Sith Triumvirate. So until he's nerfed, I would say any of you guildies, any guild member that's working on heroic, utilize this as much as you can. So, but other than that, these are some of my concept teams for C-3PO. I really like these two just because I feel like you don't need a leader, and yet you're still getting a speed boost, a health and protection boost. You just don't, I feel like you don't need a leader with it. But then again, there is still the fact you can still lose easily. But I hope Game Changers get their test accounts back just so that they can test these teams. I would love to see these teams be tested and whatnot. So, but other than that, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about these teams. Am I on something? Am I off of some? How close am I to some sort of cool interaction teams? C-3PO has been the most unique character. Yes, he does not give buffs to droids. You'd think he's definitely going to boost Resistance, Rebel, Galactic Republic. So all the Galactic Republic Jedi, he could be thrown on a Jedi team. But mainly one of the big factions he helps is Ewoks. Unfortunately, he has no synergies with droids other than the 3 little boosts he gives, other than, well, with R2-D2, of course, giving R2-D2 and himself evasion. And maybe that's something he could have done with droids on that one Zeta, where all droids get the evasion. That would be kind of crazy and powerful and stupid, but fun nonetheless. But other than that, at least he does still give crit damage, defense penetration, and and I think it was like crit chance, crit damage. Oh no, it's potency. So he spreads around some buffs. So that is huge. Again, yes, there's a lot you can throw in this spot. You can throw in IG-86 for other assists. You can throw in IG-88 for AoE as well as high damage. Since IG-88 is a high damaging droid, you need a high attacker. I know some of these concepts don't seem like they could do a lot of damage. This one, anything with Akbar, I feel like all the assists thrown around expose would be great. Especially Jawa Engineer will slap around some, what is it, the thermal. He'll be able to cleanse and speed up droids even more. So, but yeah, a lot of these droid teams seem viable. And yes, again, you can still run in leader slot, JTR, Commander Luke Skywalker. So you can get these droids like this team here, start counterattacking as long as L3 actually activates her Mark 1 upgrade. Then she can start counterattacking. Then you have a whole counterattacking team, as well as the fact this style of team, or with K2SO, CLS will give them also defense up as well as some offense. So, well, you know, again, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate all those that watch the videos I make, and you guys have a wonderful day.